what we're gonna do is we're going to, we could take a few questions from the press, and then after that, we'll have our meeting, and we have a little lunch for the board, so we'll have a little bit of a lunch. And it's an honor to have you all here, to so many of you, Jimmy, so many of you are friends.
Okay, notice how he says, "Oh, we're gonna, have a little lunch." At every turn, he tries to wrap everyone into his corruption. At lunch, I'm not saying I know, but he probably can't even be giving them lunch because it appears because it has the stench and smell of corruption and bribery. But this guy, that's what he does. He oozes it out so that you can't blame him. I mean, everyone partakes when he's around. He's the life of the party. Let's keep watching.
It's a great honor to have you here, and we're gonna do a great job with the Trump Kennedy Center. Okay, yes, please, CNN, yeah.
Great job at the Trump Kennedy Center. First of all, dude, he renames everything after himself. Like he is a narcissistic, malignant, narcissistic fool. These presidents have their names on things generations, some of them generations after they've been president, because the general public realizes and recognizes their success. They are not. Their success is not shoved down the American people's throats by the people themselves. That stinks of like Napoleonite sort of grandiosity that just is not befitting of an American president. It just really is not. It's below the dignity of the president of the United States. For goodness sake, when I served as the attorney general for the mock state government that we had, I thought something like that would be beneath me. It is sad and appalling to me that the people I served in student government with have eons ahead of morality than this man. But such it is. Let's keep watching. Also, he says, CNN, ay, ay, ay. First of all, don't ay, ay, ay. Bitch, you're not Mexican. You're not Hispanic. You hate all Mexicans. You hate all Hispanics, apparently. So please don't, ay, yeah, you're not cute. You're old. You're 80 years fucking old. Act like it. Act like you're an 80-year-old man. You're stupid and disgusting. And you're 80 years old, dude. Like, act like it. Also, CNN bashing again. He always bashes media outlets. Listen, Bubba, that's the way media works. Why are you the only one who can manipulate media at your whim? But also, this is to all the other Democratic politicians. Why are you not acting like that in terms of not meaning like stoop down to his morality, but be a little more forceful. That's why he gained so much traction, because you guys cower at every turn. I get that you have temerity and respect and honor and integrity, and respect for the American people, and you understand that the media is a conduit of the American people, an extension of the American people, if you will, because they ask questions that are in the public interest. I get that, but at the same time, like you can separate that and compartmentalize that with the person themselves asking the question. The person doesn't actually represent, the question might, but the person themselves doesn't represent the American people as a whole. So be a little more forceful, and not even be rude. Just be confident in your answers. Like don't let them let you stumble. That's the fake confidence that this guy exudes, and that's why he gets away with so much.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm not CNN, I'm Daily Wire, but thank you for the question. Numerous countries have told me they are on their way. Can you give us a hint what they are, what that...
You see how Susie Wiles laughs? And I don't know if you heard, but there was a faint laughter, right? There's a faint laughter in the room. It's pathetic. All those people, by the way, are, obviously in front of the king right now. So they love, they don't want to, they want to encourage the king, of course. They all become court jesters when he's in court, when he's holding court. And for lack of a better term, this is what this is. He's holding court. And Susie Wiles, God bless her. She's on her way out, I guess, because she has cancer, breast cancer. So, we pray for a speedy recovery for her. She's on her way out of the administration, but So that's Susie Wiles, and she's just smiling and laughing at President Trump too, which I guess I get she has to be his lackey, but still, like, it's beneath your dignity, and it's beneath the office of the President of the United States and the office of the Chief of Staff of the President of the United States to entertain such juvenile behavior. Honestly, uncalled for, unwarranted juvenile behavior. Nobody thinks that he's gaining any points because he's bashing CNN, other than his MAGA freaks. Nobody thinks he's anyway. It just really is so disgusting to see the smirks on their faces at all times. Whenever he's bashing reporters, and if you notice, he bashed Peter Doocy the other day, and that's about it. Usually it's females. He loves exerting his power over females. So again, like, this is, if you look at the qualities of this man, it is not a man that shows the fruits of the Spirit, meaning he has no Christian bone in his body. It just doesn't exude at all. There is no kindness. There is no patience. There is no acceptance. There is no love for your neighbors. There is no, and he is a foul mouth, and so what's in the heart springs out of the mouth. And we see how dark his heart is. And let's keep watching.
Entails how soon they might be there.
You mean who are the countries?
Yes, sir.
I'd rather not say yet, but
Oh, who are the countries? Not what are the countries, who are the countries? Because this guy is a mathematical, grammatical genius. So don't we know?
we'll be announcing Marco Rubio and the various people that are doing that will be announced.
Oh, he's so proud of himself. The little adjusting of the little, teleprompter that he has in front of him. He is so proud of himself. Like, he thinks he just landed I taught her. Wow.
And I have to tell you, we have some that are really enthusiastic. They're coming already. They've already started to get there. It takes a little while to get there. It's like, in some cases, you have to travel an ocean. So it doesn't go that fast, but it'll go fast. And we have some that are fairly local that are doing it. But we'll give you a list. Some are very enthusiastic and some are less than enthusiastic. And I assume some will not do it. I think we have one or two that will not do it that we've been protecting for about 40 years.
He says that we've been protecting, but you've been in the office for about 5 years. You had bone spurs as a cited reason for your deferment, as your of being drafted into the war in Vietnam. Your personal Vietnam was avoiding STDs from all the Jeffrey Epstein style escapades you used to have in your early life. So spare us the lecture here. Spare us the we have. No, you have done nothing. In fact, one could say that your taxes have helped, but as we see, you almost pay nothing in taxes. We owe you nothing. The United States owes you nothing. In fact, you owe the United States the world and then some. You owe the United States monies upon monies upon monies. Not to mention all the money that you're pillaging now. Forget that. Cast that aside for a second. You owe the money that you have been, enjoying all these resources since you were born, at American taxpayers' expense, because you have cheated the system at every turn. You ran on that. You said that was a good thing. But all of a sudden, everything that led you to be where you are at, you see as bad. So now you've got to tighten your grip on power and reduce pretty much all the loopholes that made you who you are, because you know that there might be another you out there. But anyway.
Tens of billions of dollars, Mr. Speaker. So I'll be reporting that to you in the House and the Senate, and I'll say, why are we protecting countries that don't protect us? And I've always felt that was a weakness of NATO. We were going to protect them, but I always said, when in need, they will protect us. Now, this isn't need. Need would be one of the big boys, but I will say that we built the greatest military in the world, and we protect people. And if we need their mine boats, or if we need,
Yes, that is what the United States Army does. That is what they're known for. But you, my friend, you are known for death and pillaging. That's all you're known for. Your legacy will be the boats in the Caribbean. Your legacy will be the 120 or 150, over 100 little girls in Iran. That is your legacy. Your legacy is one of death and destruction. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. Yes, the United States is separate from the United States government is separate from the United States citizenry. You do not speak for all of us. Thank God, because where would we be? You are a murderous dictator, a murderous wannabe dictator. You have blood on your hands, sir. You literally have blood on your hands, whether that be by accident, whether that be whatever. The buck stops with you. At least that's what every reputable and respectable president said before you. But you want to shift the blame and quote unquote, and because of the quote fog of war, and use that to your leverage to do as much pillaging and as much destruction as you possibly can, all in the name of what? Helping Vladimir Putin get better oil prices so that his war coffers can go up and destroy Ukraine faster without the American public being privy to it, because you are engaging in your own war that's just like your little daddy's war. So how much of a hypocrite can you make us, type thing. You are disgusting, you are vile, you are repugnant, you know exactly what the hell you're doing, and it is disgusting and despicable to see.
any piece of apparatus that they may have because of the situation that they have, they should be jumping to help us, because we've helped them for years stay out of wars. Yeah, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Can you tell us if you have spoken with French President Macron about the coalition to reopen the Strait of Hormuz? Have you been speaking with the French President?
What does that mean?
Have you been speaking with the French President Macron about the...
He doesn't know the English language enough to be able to read through the nuances of an accent, which tells you everything, right? This man is an ignoramus to the maximus. He is an absolute embarrassment to the entire world. You don't make anyone look bad because they can speak another language, even if they can't, even if they do it with an accent. You actually make yourself look imbecilic. You make yourself look ignorant because you can't even speak English correctly, right? You can't even, anyway. So spare us the what? You're not cute, dude. You're 80 years old, man. Life on earth has taught you nothing. You have learned nothing in your 80 years walking on God's green earth, and it's sad to see.
Coalition to reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, I have spoken to him. He's been on a scale of 0 to 10.
Why does he act so coy and bashful? He just loves the sound of his own voice.
And I'd say he's been an 8. Not perfect, but it's France.
Are you
We don't expect perfect.
Are you confident that France will help with the reopening of Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, sure. I think he's gonna help. I'll let you know. I spoke to him yesterday. I don't do a hard sell on them because my attitude is,
you don't do a hard sell anymore because you realize that with Carney, with any of these, foreign leaders, they're not as easy to finagle and cajole as you had hoped, as you were led to believe by your daddy Putin. You think because you're a weakling little, brat, little juvenile piece of crap, that so are they. They are not. They are cordial. They are polite, But don't get it wrong. They showed you, even the Greenlanders showed you, we are a quiet people. They said, we are a quiet people, but we will not put up with this aggression by the United States. No one's going to put up with your bullying except for the United States, obviously, right? Except for the law firms like Paul Weiss, allegedly, right? Except for these institutions that capitulated to you immediately at the highest levels here in the United States. No one else is going to follow suit. And it's, about time that you understood that. Everyone sees you for what you are, you orange-faced, orange-painted freak.
we don't need anybody. We're the strongest nation in the world. We have the strongest military by far in the world. We don't need them. But It's interesting. I'm almost doing it in some cases.
You do, though. You do. You don't need them unless you're a Russian asset. You don't need friends to help you in this international world, in the international economy, unless you are a KGB Russian asset. You know, that's when you don't need anyone, because then you can isolate the United States, just like we have been isolated already. We can't go through the Strait of Hormuz. We can't use that, but China can and Russia can. So that tells you everything you need to know. You're putting our friends and our allies in an impossible situation for what? To help Daddy Putin? To help your Daddy Putin get more money for oil? You are pathetic. You are disgusting. You're isolating the United States in a geopolitical strategic sense, so that what your Daddy Putin can be in a better position geopolitically. Now Putin seems, he's got what so far $150 million worth of oil going through the Strait of Hormuz, or excuse me, maybe not through the Strait, but being shipped to India, because now they're they're selling more of the necessary oil to people and nations who need it. It's obvious. It's blatantly obvious what you've done. It's blatantly obvious what you're doing. But I'm going to leave it there. It's a long video already. As you can see, there is so much to be said, so much to unpack here. But yeah, I mean, he's ridiculous.